So let's start. So welcome everybody to our research seminar, and our today's topic is saving world with robots and STEAM kits. We have gathered here with our project team. We have spent almost a year for designing for you these really nice activities, both in English and Estonian. And today we are proud to present and explain to you what we were doing, why we were doing what we were doing, and we hope to ignite you all to use these materials in the future in your native language or in English as you wish. And yeah, let's start from the beginning. I'm going to share the slides with you. There will be different presenters talking, and if you have any question, please don't hesitate to write it directly into chat on the right corner. So, how we are going to save the world with robots and STEAM kits? That's a question we were looking for the answer like several months before we started designing these activities. And if you don't know yet, then behind this acronym STEAM Key 12, it's a collection of digital learning resources, open educational resources, and we try to increase our teacher-student digital competencies. I know that everybody is familiar with the meaning of STEAM, consisting of science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics knowledge, and not just knowledge, but applied knowledge, how to apply it in real life. But I'm happy to give the word to my colleague, Elina Nevsky. So, Elina, floor is yours. Please explain why these digital competencies are so important for our teachers in 21st century. Elina, unmute your microphone, please.
Sorry. Hello, everyone, and thank you, Janika. So I will give you a short overview about teachers' digital competences. And according to the DCOMP-EDU, as you see on the slide, they are organized in 6 areas. And the focus is not only on technical skills. Digital competences framework describes how digital technologies can be used to promote and support innovative education and training. Being digitally competent, it's a key task for the 21st century teacher, and digital technology must be purposefully applied to both teaching and learning, and as well as supporting the learners' digital competences. So these competences need to be developed, supported, and most important, practiced, because it's a key competence for lifelong learning. And today, I see that teachers are in a situation where national documents require them to be digitally competent, and teachers can and must demand high quality digital teaching and learning materials. And our material gives the teachers a helping hand, providing additional tool for teaching. And this material can be used a basis for inspiration when they're planning their lessons and activities in classroom. So this was a very, very short overview about digital competences. I give you the floor back to you.
Thank you. We are taking the floor back. So it was a really short overview, but everybody can dig deeper when clicking on the link seen on the slide. But I forgot to tell you that the main issue we tried to solve with our materials was sustainable development, and the floor is here for Mihkel Kangur, please.
Yes, hello everyone. We all know very well that globally and locally, regionally, we're going through now some kind of transition, some kind of crisis related with environmental conditions that are changing rapidly, and the cause of this is human actions, human influence onto the environment. In order to solve these issues what we are facing at the moment as a society, whole society of humans, there are three major ways what the people see how we can tackle with these challenges. For first, there is a great belief, like historically, we have solved our challenges through the changes in the technology. It has served, this principle has served us over the last millennials when we have developed new technologies in order to cope with changes in the environment, but at the moment it is not enough, as we know that it is the first time when these environmental challenges are created by one biological being, us. So the challenges are global. This means that also the coordination, collaboration to solve, to tackle these challenges, it must be global. And therefore, the United Nations has agreed, all countries has agreed to take responsibility on sustainable development goals. Therefore, we, all the nations in the globe, we are trying to solve, we are framed to work together in order to solve these environmental conditions. But the most important, it is the way how we behave, the way how we are acting. And therefore, according to these challenges, what we have developed the working packages or working activities according to the topics. The topics are the same as are the major environmental challenges with what we are facing. It's the topsoil, condition of the soils, fertile soils, biodiversity, the sixth mass extinction, the climate change, water scarcity, and oceans pollutions. So in these working packages are meeting all these three ways or the parts what are needed in order to solve these environmental challenges. The change in technology, the way how we are using it, international collaboration, but also in local scale, and focusing on the conceptual change on these fields what are presented here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mikkel. And now it's time to check out what and how we have prototyped. And first, I give the floor Kairi Mustetse, the author of the Youngest Children STEAM Integration. Kairi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, but I'm not ready to explain. Ask something and I try to answer.
Okay, so Kairi, actually you are informatics teacher and math teacher,
yes.
And you are also the pioneer of this digital movement called the ProgeTiger we have here in Estonia. So what do you think, what is the most beneficial part of this type of project learning when we include STEAM or robotics kids? What do you consider most influential?
Most? Sorry, Annika, I didn't understand right correctly what you mean in your sentence.
Okay, so I try to rephrase. What is the biggest influence on student learning outcomes when they
understood. Influence, yes. I think they are so excited to prototype and excited to find the how it's to find solutions for different kind of problems, and they are more involved in the learning process if they are there on hands-on. Do you understand? Was I correct?
Absolutely, and
Thank you.
most likely everybody saw that right now you are sitting in the math class in the rural area where
Yes.
you have 50 students at all at your school.
Yes, it's only 50 students in all our school. Yes.
So there is a truth that we are digitally really advanced country. But right now I'm giving a floor to Kathleen. And Kathleen is a student from our university who decided to try out one of these materials also with the students. Please, Kathleen, how did you manage?
Hello. We were managing it really good, I guess. We were testing topsoil materials with first and second grade. And basically what we did was telling them a little bit soil and then building Lego V2 2.0 robots, and we made a tractor and explained what kind of influence it has to soil.
Thank you, Kathleen. And as you told me that the teachers were telling that it's so hard to get them off from this equipment once they have started playing with them. And also you see another picture from another student of STEAM Key-12 project, and they were saving oceans in Spa with Sphero robot. But let's continue, and now the floor again is yours. Elina, you was the integrator in grades 4 to 6. Please.
Thank you. Yes, you will see the video a little bit later when we start with the Estonian part. But this material was tested with teacher education students, and the feedback from students were very positive. After working through the material in the context of their own subjects and integrations, they pointed out that this material inspired them and provided a good opportunity to enrich lesson plans and make activities more interesting. Of course, they pointed out that this material was a positive surprise for them, and certainly these materials could be further developed and more topics could be added. They also pointed out that there is no need to be afraid of STEAM resources and kits, and these kits can be used very easily and creatively in any subject in the learning process. And of course, what they realized that the teacher don't have to cover the whole lesson with STEAM kit. It's good enough that just if one part of the lesson covers it to develop learners' digital skills. And finding the right balance is the golden keyword, what my students told me. So I give you the word back, Yannick.
Thank you, Elina. And unfortunately, our integrator for the third school stage, Kadri, wasn't able to join us today, but she sent some kind of video greeting with the explanation what she was doing. And let's start watching a video right now.
Materjalide teemad on inspireeritud Mihkli sissejuhatusest ühe aktuaalse keskkonnateema kohta. Materjalides on lõimitud omavahel bioloogia, keemia, füüsika ja matemaatika ainevaldkonna teadmisi ja tegevusi. Igas materjalis on disaini ülesanne koos tehnoloogilise vahendiga, mis aitaks lahendada ühte jätatud probleemi. Lisaks on olemas ka materjalide inglisekeelne versioon, mis võimaldaks materjale kasutada ka inglise keele õpetajaga koostöös. Materjalide edasiarendamise viise on palju. Lõimida annab nendesse tegevustesse veel teisigi aineid. Materjalide loomisel valisin ennast kõige rohkem kõnetavama alateema või alaprobleemi ning hakkasin selle ümber ehitama tegevuse. Mõnikord oli inspiratsiooniallikaks hoopis tehnoloogiline vahend, näiteks termokaamera, sensorid või leiutamise komplektid.
We are not hearing the EduSpace.
Yes. We were muted. You know, it's the trick that you mute yourself and you never will open your microphone again. Okay, so when we are talking in Estonian for a while, also Andres Seere will explain why he built a really cool robot for Kadri. But let's continue with our material, and here is the integrator for the students, almost adults, I would say. Külli Kori, floor is yours, please.
Thank you. So in high school, we can use different robots and sensors in science classes. And today I will shortly introduce you to a task that is related to water. The task is based on inquiry cycle. So first we have some kind of problem that we're investigating, then we formulate some questions or hypotheses, then carry out the experiment, also analyze the data. So here is the place where mathematics comes in. So when we collect some kind of data with sensors, then we can actually do some statistics with it. And later this project ends with conclusions. And discussion is also very important. It's possible to do citizen science projects related to water. This means that we can do projects where school children are involved in scientific research together with scientists, or they can start their own projects where they come up with a problem and invite other people to participate in the project, like some kind of open project. But today I have here a conductivity sensor that measures basically how much dissolved ions we have in the water. So when the water is pure, then the conductivity should be low. I have on this table two waters. I think you can also see that they are in a little bit different color. So the clear one is tap water, and the yellow one is from a river. And we can already see that this one seems to be not that pure as the tap water. And here I have the Vernier conductivity sensor. And if I measure the conductivity of tap water, then I can see that this is about 350 microsiemens per centimeter. So the drinkable water should be around 200 to 800. And if I measure this river water, then I can see that the conductivity is much higher. I can see it's 530 microsiemens per centimeter. So it's possible to do that kind of projects where students can take water from different places in their neighborhood, like rivers and sea, lake, and compare how pure the water is. In addition to this conductivity, we could also measure pH or turbidity of the water, or depends on which sensors you have in school. So thank you.
Thank you, Külli, and we will continue with following challenging topics, and I'm going to share my screen again. And Madis Wasser, the floor is yours. How the STEAM education and virtual reality are connected?
So thanks. I would say that we see that these devices now of virtual reality have become more and more common, also in the educational settings. And so in this project, we try to use this interesting technology to give some more inspiration or motivation to students. And while these devices can be used with many different levels or grades of students, there are different things we can talk extra about these technologies. So here we have brought out 4 different levels of complexity that we can talk about when we use these technologies. Level 1 is just your basic safety of how to use these devices and why you should take care of yourself and your surroundings. Level 2 is about what are the differences and similarities between the virtual and the real world. There are many. Level 3 is to think more about what are the use cases of this technology. So it's not only for entertainment, it's actually for education and research as well, and talk about these different things that people feel when they are inside these devices. So here are some keywords on that. And level 4 is really going more in depth, maybe more for people who are very interested in technology and these STEAM subjects. So talking about different devices and why they actually work so well. And in the next Estonian version, presentation, I will go into the content as well.
Thank you, Madis. And actually, we have reached almost to the end. And I really like to introduce you the whole team we had behind. So unfortunately, we haven't translated yet into Estonian whole statistics module. So there is a Üllekikas behind the statistics, and she will be talking very soon in Estonian part. And we also had assistants helping to bring this great project together. And we also have a team of didactics. So this didactics manual will be published in the end of December when our project will end. And also we had extended team consisting of representatives of different companies dealing with STEAM kits and robotics, also with active teachers, and also talent education department was included. So we are really happy now to ask your questions. We have some minutes left for English speakers, and then we start again more slowly, talking just more slowly in Estonian. So in Estonian, our seminar will last 1 hour. Any questions to our integrators? Or I just use my moderator power and ask. Let me see. Tiina Mägela, are you there? Tiina, can you talk to us? Please unmute yourself.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Tiina, what do you think about our project? And please say some words about you.
Yeah, greetings from the University of Jyväskylä. I think I'm here with my colleague Christoph. I saw him here as well. And we are really excited. It's a shame that we don't speak any Estonian, but it's lovely that you also created these challenges and these examples in English so that we can learn about them. And maybe Janika, you can comment that our plans to start collaborating. We are seeing how to use these ideas and materials that you've been developing so as to share them in our future Erasmus Plus project in Finland and elsewhere. So we are very excited to learn more profoundly about these examples. If I need to ask, or some questions I might have at the moment is maybe I would like to know the number of participants, or so as to understand like how widely have you been using these samples, or have you just worked with some some sample schools, and your idea is then to widen out these experiments to other schools. So what's the situation like? How many schools and how many participants have you had at the moment? And what are your plans then in the next stage?
Thank you, Tina. I will start and then Elina will take over. As I said, we are just about finishing the project. So we have tested our prototypes mostly at the university. So I conducted a course, a robot integrated teaching and learning with Maire tool, and all our teachers, students tested these materials, and also they had to create lesson plans and they had to conduct lessons, and sometimes here they were playing like fourth graders or somebody from gymnasium. So yeah, that was the one part. Another part we also used to have these live projects here at our university. So we had more students, like Kathleen Heinlecht was talking, and their task was to take these materials outside of the university, so directly to the schools and kindergartens, and they did it, and we got this valuable feedback, whether it's possible to use these materials directly in school context. And finally, also Elina tested these materials out with her students. Elina, can you comment a little bit?
Yes, I had 21 students. There were students, as I mentioned before, from teacher education, and first they learned how to play with different educational robots like Osobot, Dash, Edison, digital EasyScope microscope, and they had to create lesson scenarios, how they plan to use these devices in learning process. And of course, they assess their digital skills before the activities and after. And this course ended on 2nd December, so they still sending me their homework. So I'm patiently waiting and thinking how to put this in statistic view, and we have to cooperate with Janika to write an article in English about it. So
yeah, precisely, because you remember this decompetitive framework, this nice picture. Actually, we took measurements from our students, and as my and Maira's course is over, we got statistical significance in some digital competences because of using this material. And as we have some minutes left, maybe Christoph, you want to say some words, as you were conducting in Jyväskylä this really great course for your Finnish students in English, and they had to create these digital learning resources about sustainable development and math. Just some words, please, Christoph.
Yes, exactly. So thank you so much for the invitation and the opportunity with this English language presentation to participate in this event. I was really happy to hear more about this fantastic program. Of course, I already knew relatively a lot from Janika, who inspired my students and students in Finland, also connecting sustainable development and digital devices and technologies with STEAM and especially math learning, and they were implementing already tested and implemented and built on these materials what you just created within this project. So we proved some kind of international implementation already of this material, and it was inspiring to see that you managed to cover such a broad scope, that you really addressed all level of education with this material. And I think there is a great need for this kind of ambitious projects also in the future, because we don't find many that you also have experiences to compare different levels of education. So I'm really looking forward to your research as well, and also the response from the users and how you will bring forward this project into the next level in your international cooperations as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Christoph. And of course, you don't know. I was starting asking, maybe you don't know. You don't know that we have STEAM Upgrade Erasmus project starting with 4 different countries plus Hungarian startup companies. By the way, Christoph is from Hungary, although
Yes.
working in Finland. And the task of Jyväskylä in this project will be developing specially dedicated framework how to measure STEAM digital competencies of students. Before we moving to the Estonian part, Luis from Spain, can you also say just some words as you a part of this STEAM Upgrade project as our dissemination project of these results as well?
Yes, thank you very much, Yannicka. My name is Luis Pastor from University Rey Juan Carlos in Madrid, Spain. And I also wanted to thank you for the opportunity of finding out what you have been doing in this project. And of course, we are very looking forward starting the STEAM Upgrade project that we are going to be doing now. There are a number of activities for collaboration. We have already been working together in the study of how to use robots in sort of non-standard ways, like, for example, using them for education on human rights or on other abstract or philosophical concepts. I think the advantages that STEAM devices and robotics and technology offer in education go well beyond technical abilities, but they can also be very good for motivating kids. We are really very interested in collaborating with you, and well, we hope everything will come out very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Luis, so much. And our collaboration will start already in a couple of weeks. And Spain in this project will be responsible for developing STEAM upgrade materials for early childhood and kindergarten with a small accent of inclusive education. It was a pleasure talking to you, our English colleagues, and now we are slightly moving into our local small language called Estonian. You can still stay here, or we are happy to send you also the recording of today's presentation and continue our collaboration outside of this research seminar.